What is up, guys? This is ALTX here. I'm going to be bringing you today round 16 of the NR2003 2018 season. I just did a small recording of this. I recorded like 7 or 8 minutes, but then accidentally clicked out of it and may or may not have shown my my login to my PayPal. So I'm just going to use the same race. It's currently on pause. You can see over here, it's pause. When I get to there, I'll just cut the recording real quick, unpause it, and we'll keep going from there. So, starting on pole is Chase Elliott. Starting on the outside pole is Kyle Busch. I don't feel like going through the starting lineup again. So, I'm just going to cut straight to the green flag, and we'll go from there. Alright, so I didn't even stop recording, but whatever. I'm just going to leave that in the recording because I don't feel like doing this again, because I'm kind of tired. I do want to do the stupid race, but I don't feel like cutting it again and starting over. So we're just going to go with this. Kyle Busch on the outside pole, Chase Elliott on pole position, right on the cusp of making the playoffs. Needs the first one to get him in. We'll see if he can do it today. As he leads us around to start the 38 lapper at California. Green flag is out. As they come out of turn 4 for the first time, Kyle Busch is going to get a huge run off the high lane, and he's going to lead lap 1. He'll claim the lead early. Not a whole lot of competition there for it. Whoa, big contact there. 14 got shoved out of line by the 78. Oh, he's going to almost come back down into the 48 and almost squeeze him. We've got an accident in turn 1. It looks like it's William Byron up into the outside wall. And Casey Kane appears to be heavily damaged as well. Kane and Byron here bringing out the first caution. Heavy contact. Byron's day is probably done. We'll see about Kane. We're going to go take a look at the replay real quick. Alright, here with the replay. You can see the white and green UniFirst car of William Byron. Best way to look at this is to look at the seams in the track in relation to the driver of the car. You can see he's crossing under these seams, and right here he starts to slide up. He just drives it in way too hard. Cuts completely across the nose of the 21 and super heavy impact into the outside wall. I was talking about them. Some of you may have caught David Reagan's save. I'll go back and look at that in a second. But just simply massive impacts for the 24. Here's our full-time replay of it. The speeds they're at, just diving off into turn 1 and 2 at 170 and almost completely head-on impact. Super hard for him. His day is over. Kane's day might be over too. Menard's pretty banged up on that right side. Here I know we get a vantage point of it. Get a little bit of damage, or a little bit of a view of it. Yeah, he's pretty banged up. I think I can get it repaired though. And saves don't happen that often in NR2003, but this one's beautiful. He dives in, basically drifts it, keeps it off a 3 car, and keeps the car moving. I mean, the contact with the 43 is pretty hard, but this could have been so much worse than what it was. Fortunately, he and the 43 were able to do a good job of hanging on to it. I don't know how he saved it, but they did. They'll be able to stay in the race. Fortunately for our friends back here, though, the 95 and the 24, they're likely done. So we'll go back with some green flag action in just a moment. We're back live. Well, almost live. As you can see down here, there's still a little bit of catching up to do. If we have another caution, then I'll get that caught up. But Kyle Busch leading, Larson second, Chase Elliott trying to capture that victory third. Close, needs to be closer. Jones and Almirola make out the rest of the top five. Then it goes Kurt Busch, Martin Truex Jr., Joey Logano, Daniel Suarez, and Kevin Harvick rounding out the rest of the top 10. So we'll get ready to go green here. I'm just looking at the fastest laps. You can see that the 24 and the 95 are more than likely out of the race. Pace car will pull off. Kyle Busch will lead us back down to the green flag. Already quite a bit of jockeying by the field. Larson goes straight to the high side. Another general rule is you don't really do commentary on the first lap, but it was a pretty exciting start for the 9 and the 42 to try and get a jump on the 18. They both had different plans. Looks like neither will work. Kyle Larson appears to be poised to make a run at Kyle Busch. Or not. Kyle Busch will just drive away and continue to lead at Auto Club. Going to lead that one, and likely many more of them. Eric Almirola dives under Eric Jones back there to make a pass for, looks like, 4th place. Whoa! Contact there. The 12 just slid up into the 4 car. He dove it in, and there's not a lot of grip on the track today. It's a really hot day, really sunny day, hot, slick racetrack. Just not a lot of grip to dive it down to the inside and make it stick, it seems. Keselowski and Johnson almost made contact there. Very different track conditions than what's being experienced in practice. Risky track conditions. As Kyle Busch is driving away, but don't look now, it's Kyle Larson right on his back bumper. As a matter of fact, it's only the 2 of them that seem to be driving away from the field. Still a lot of dangerous jockeying for position back here between the Penske guys and the Stewart-Haas guys. Ooh, Keselowski almost cutting off the 48. That could have been a disaster. This all could be a disaster. No give and take right now. Not sure why. Plenty of time for the playoffs, guys. We don't need to be wrecking each other out here. Everybody just needs to calm down. Speaking of racing each other, Kyle Larson looking like he's ready to try and make a pass on Kyle Busch. Almost slides it. That's been a real problem. It's been a very real problem. Guys trying to dive it in and make it stick. But there's just not enough grip down there to make it stick. Make passes work. Looks like the high side is going to be our real passing lane for today. Because the inside lane is just flat out lacking grip. As the field comes off the corner, Kyle Busch still leads, Larson trailing behind. We'll look back on that later. There's currently a battle for 3rd place. Eric Almirola moving further up the running order, trying to make the pass on Chase Elliott, and he's going to zip right around almost. Elliott's going to have to run off the high side. Ooh, Eric Almirola squeezes up in front of him. Elliott's going to cut back under. He's not going to give up so easily. He might slide up. No, he lets off enough to keep it down there, but he's going to sacrifice a lot of speed, and Almirola will complete that pass. Still racing quite dicely back here. Eric Jones appears to be on the backward slide. Doesn't have a whole lot of speed in that race car now. Doing everything he can to try and hang on and keep his car up in the top 5, but he's going to continue to fall backwards. Penske, 41 just made contact with the 9. Heavy contact. Chase Elliott really stacking things up. Eric Jones almost hits him. Logano blocking Boyer low. 3 wide all the way throughout. This is very dangerous. Hopefully no one slides up. It looks like they're going to make it out okay for now. But that was almost a very bad situation. Boyer might be looking to try and make it 4 wide. Would he dare? 3 wide is almost a wreck every time we have it. I don't think he would dare make it 4 wide. Logano would. Oh, the 22 dives it and he door slams the 14. Clint Boyer makes contact with Chase Elliott there. They're able to keep it straight somehow. I don't know how. It's going to result in a lot of position loss for the 12 and the 22. And we're still 3 wide. These guys just don't learn. So So as these guys are screwing around back here, doing damage to their cars, Kyle Busch is driving away with it, leading Kyle Larson. So nice and single file, and then everyone's dead. Oh, Newman just did the same thing to Hamlin and Johnson. Dove it in, using up that right side a little more than necessary at a super speedway like this. So Menard looks like he wasn't able to make up any ground. That car might be damaged beyond. Wait, what happened? Oh, he must have just. Oh, he's a lap down. I see. Meanwhile, this mess is still going on. Bowman fighting for his first top 10, not doing a great job. Really watching these guys. These guys seem to lack a lot of grip. 48 crosses under the two Penske cars of Blaney and Logano. Oh dear, we could have 4 wide. That is not good. Very close between the 9 and the 12 there. It's 3 wide for sure. They get out of it. Logano appears to be on a backward spiral now, losing a lot of positions. Still not a lot going on up here. Larson trying to work his way around Kyle Busch, not having a lot of success in doing so. Eric Almirola, by the way, is here. Ooh, Kyle Busch slips up there. Larson's able to get to his quarter panel. Larson's got a nose under him. Kyle Busch is going to have a run off here, but Larson is there, making his presence known. Here comes Eric Almirola to the inside of the 42. Looks like he's going to try and make a pass. I've talked about it before this season. Eric Almirola has been incredibly consistent, has the most top 5s and top 10s of any driver this season, but still has yet to get a number in that victory column. And today looks like he's got a good shot, but as they battle, Kyle Busch is simply going to pull ahead and gain a lot of time. Suarez appears to be charging towards the front as well. That's good for him. If you look back here, Penske plus Hamlin plus Johnson. Ooh, that's close. Hendrick versus Penske in the back here, right outside the top 10. Still battling the doors off each other. As you see, they've got a little bit more sorted out and civilized up here. They're able to actually get some faster driving done. Gosh, guys just can't pass. The track is way too slick for passing. Come back here a second time later in the season. Hopefully it'll be more cloudy. 3 wide again, the 11, 22, and 48. It's going to be very risky. 48 almost slides up, loses a lot of speed, but saves himself from wrecking himself, the 11 and the 22. And that's been the story all race. Eric Almirola seems to have backed off his assault from Kyle Busch, as now it looks like it'll be Kurt Busch trying to pass his Stewart-Haas Racing teammate for the 3rd position. Again, there's not a lot you can do on the inside lane. It's going to have to be an outside pass. We could see both lanes work really well when the track was a lot cooler and the temperatures were a lot lower and the clouds were out. But the way it is right now, it's just not working. Oh, I say that now, but Kyle Larson got a pretty good run off the corner there on the inside. He's got a nose under Kyle Busch. Oh, not quite. It might not be enough, actually. Eric Almirola has a huge head of steam. He might try and dive in. Oh, he thought better of it. He probably could have went to the outside there and gotten a better run like that. Don't look now, though. It looks like he is getting more and more shots at Kyle Busch. Busch got a better run off, but Almirola's taking the shorter way around the track. And just like that, here's Kurt Busch and here's Eric Almirola with Kyle Larson. It looks like they're not going to let Kyle Larson get the swing he wants at Kyle Busch. Larson moved up the lane. Oh, he did not make it stick at all. He's going to put Kyle Larson's charge to the front on hold and maybe more. Eric Almirola diving low wants a piece of it. Almirola to the inside. Looks like he's going to have a good run. Looks like he's going to make it stick, actually. That's the first time we've seen a pass on the bow. I stand corrected. Larson got a really good run, side drafting the 10 car. Does not want to let him get away. Almirola might clear him, though, right here. Ooh, it's going to be close. No, Larson's going to fight back on that high line. I don't know. They got pretty equal runs off, actually. It's kind of close. I'm not sure. Ooh, almost contact. Almirola desperately trying to get around Kyle Larson. He knows that. Everybody knows that they're losing time. Ooh, contact. Kurt Busch in the 41. There could be a little bit of teammate help there. Now a lot of will do Kyle Larson hanging on to that second spot, but they all have to be aware that they're letting Kyle Busch get away. Kyle is slowly and slowly gaining more and more as Larson and Almirola relentlessly battle side by side. And as they've done this, more of the field is caught up. Truex is here now. Suarez. Oh dear, they're all here. Oh, the field really spread out behind them. Elliott lost a lot of ground. It looks like that pass isn't going to be complete. Kyle Larson's going to hold off Almirola. Tragically, that's only for second place. The real battle needs to be with Kyle Busch. But during all that quarreling, it looks like he was able to pull away. Oh, wow. Larson closed the gap a lot that time regardless. So they're still going at it. Oh, contact there. Don't go 4 wide. It won't work. I didn't want that flyby. No. See the 92 pulling onto pit road. That could be a scheduled pit stop. I believe it is a scheduled pit stop as Larson uncharacteristically dives right to the bottom. I thought it was going to be green flag pit stops. I know we're going to have them pretty soon here. They've caught right back up to the back end of Kyle Busch. Eric Almirola again trying to go around Kyle Larson. Just as they got to Kyle Busch, he drives it in really hard. He makes heavy contact with the 42. And now the 41 runs into the back of Almirola. They all make contact there. I'm not sure how severe the damage is, but they really got right up to Kyle Busch. They're all faster than Kyle Busch, but it's so hard to pass here. And I believe this will be the pit stop right here. Almirola looks like he's staying out for another lap. A little pit lane camera here. We got a lot of guys who came in last time. See a lot of guys staying out, a lot of guys pitting. Some of the leaders stay out. Most everybody made their pit stop at this point, but we do have some guys who are still not pitted. Almirola, or Martin Truex Jr., the only two. Logano as well that need to pit. 3 cars left that need to pit. Looks like, judging by their entry speed into turn 4, they're making their stops this time. It's a very rough pit road entry. Ooh, Eric Almirola timed pretty well, actually. That was good. We're going to be watching, though, the man Kyle Busch coming out of his pit stall. No, I don't want to go that far back. Larson gets really close to the 18. Really aggressive coming out of pit road. Here they come back out onto the track. The 2 and the 48 pitted earlier than everybody else, and oh my god, that's going to pay off big for those guys. It looks like that's going to be a lot of track position for the 2. Oh, Kyle Busch cuts off Brad Keselowski. Keselowski was able to hit a lap earlier and was going to try and jump the leaders. And it looks like he was going to be able to, but the 18 turned up right in front of the 2 and cut him off. That might have ended the 2 cars' momentum there. As he and the 42 make contact. 48 make the same call. They're going to gain track position off of that, knowing they don't have an incredibly quick car. Here comes Almirola. Was that a car down there? Am I blind? No, those are not cars. I'm stupid. Help, I'm blind. Not sure what's going on. I think Boyer's going to have the lead. Clint Boyer's going to have the lead. Wow, look at that. It'll be Clint Boyer leading the race. Not sure what happened. Quick pit stop or what for them, but Kyle Busch running in the second spot now with Brad Keselowski right up his tail. Keselowski making a strategy call to try and gain track position. Looks like it worked out really well for him. As these 3 are all going to be having to chase down Clint Boyer. 48, 41, 78, 3-way battle here. A lot of dark colors there, a lot of bright colors here. And Clint Boyer leading the way. I know Kyle Busch. I think Kyle Busch is faster than Clint Boyer. I don't know that. There he was by a 10. It'll be a dogfight to see who can get to Clint Boyer first. Because Boyer looks like he might have pit earliest of them all to try and get this kind of lead. It looks like it worked, but now he's got 10 laps to go, and he's going to have to hold off Kyle Busch if he wants to win this thing. Kyle Busch is usually in the position Clint Boyer has been, but now Kyle Busch is in the position of having to chase down the guy who's in front of you. It looks like he's doing just that. It looks like he's getting a lot in the center of the corner. And we might be down about a tenth-ish here. And it'll update. Oh, okay. That was wrong. The gap was cut by a third, and now he's right on him. So Kyle Busch right up to the back of the 14 of Clint Bowyer. Here he goes to the inside, but we've seen that outside get such better runs off the corner, and the inside not have grip. We've only seen like one, maybe, pass on the inside. I don't know if Kyle Busch can do it. He dives it in good. Clint Bowyer's going to get a good run off. I don't think it's going to be enough. There's going to be those newer tires prevailing. Kyle Busch, if he can do that again, he's going to be able to seal down the lead. 3 and 4 works better on the inside, so I'm not sure. Oh, yeah. You can see it. Bowyer is struggling a lot. However, Busch was able to get out in front. Almirola was not able to beat Clint Bowyer in time. So while Busch drives away a little bit more, he's going to have the 10 of Eric Almirola still trying to get by Clint Bowyer. He's got to go fast. There he goes. He drives it in really deep. Got to get around the 14. There he goes, and he gains a lot of time on Kyle Busch, too. Eric Almirola making a push towards Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch seeing if finally they can close out a race. They do have a win, but they've lost so many of these in the late stages. See if Kyle Busch can close out a race, or if Eric Almirola can get his first victory of the season. Clint Bowyer, whoa, Bowyer drives it, and he gets into the back of his teammate. That is not what they need to happen. They both got to go catch Kyle Busch, or Kyle Busch is going to walk away with the victory. I know there's a lot of battling going on behind these guys, but this is a really important race for the win. Eric Almirola is easily going to point his way in with how fast they are. Wow, as you see that, he got a little bit lower and was still a little bit more of a run. He has a really, really good handling car in the middle group. But he's got to be able to make that bottom work. And making it work on Kyle Busch is going to be no easy feat. And he's going to try it. Here he goes to the inside. He drives it in super hard. Doesn't wash up. Loses a lot of speed because of it. And he's going to have to wait, slide up, and don't let the 14 by. We have an absolute mess back here. This is the rest of the top 10, I believe. Bane is the next car. So this is our little top 10 battle going on here. Now he's going to pay the consequences and have to fend off the 14 car Clint Bowyer. Not much of a task. Fresher tires on the outside. He'll be able to make it work. Got just as bad a good of a run as Kyle Busch did off that corner. He's running out of time, however, as we have just entered lap 33 of 38. 6 laps to go for Eric Almirola. He's got to go. Got to do something. Got to be aggressive. Bowyer bumped his own teammate for second place, so Eric Almirola is perfectly acceptable for him to bump a rival team for the victory. There he goes to the inside again. The inside works better in 3 and 4. Let's see if he can do it. Oh, it's close, actually. No, it's not. Kyle Busch got a way better run off. Almirola got more of a nose under him, and this is trouble for the 10 car. As now Clint Bowyer's on the outside. Kurt Busch is on the outside. There's a 3-way train on the outside, and Eric Almirola might get trained here. He drives it in hard again. He just can't pass on the inside lane. There's not enough down there. And that does spell danger for Almirola. And now he's going to drop into the clutches of Clint Bowyer. And we know Bowyer is not fast enough to pass Kyle Busch just by virtue of tires. Or maybe he is. Maybe he backed it down, saving tires, and maybe he'll have a shot at Kyle Busch. I don't know. All I know is I don't think Kyle Busch has been the best driver all day. But I do know, I mean he hasn't had the best car all day. All race, I would argue. But I do know he has done an excellent job protecting that top line. An excellent defensive driving, not letting anybody have the preferred line. And with 4 laps to go, looking like he might be able to take this victory off of driving skills. Eric Almirola now pushed back, trying to hold off his teammate. It's Stuart Haas in second, third, fourth. But Kyle Busch holding all 3 of the Stuart Haas Racing onslaught at bay. 3 to go, Kyle Busch still out front, leading Clint Bowyer. Clint Bowyer was slower that lap, obviously, battling his heart out. Not much he can do. Kyle Busch still protecting the top here. Running out of time with the rest of the field. Eric Almirola, we know he was faster than all these guys, but he got stuck on the inside. Once you get stuck on the inside, there's nothing you can do. Battle throughout the rest of the top 10, still an absolute mess. These guys are way back there, no threat. 2 to go this time. Clint Boyer cannot do anything. Kyle Busch, he's not driving away with it, but he looks pretty comfortable right now. 2 to go this time. Busch and Boyer's lap times identical. And Kurt Busch. Almirola a little bit slower. Eric Almirola might have used up everything he had left of his tires driving it in as hard as he can. It just pushes up now. Might not have any left. Might have used everything he had left on Kyle Busch trying to make it pass on the inside. And I don't know if that was the greatest plan of attack. With the 41 of Kurt Busch diving below his teammate Clint Boyer, that might be the nail in the coffin for this one. White flag is out for Kyle Busch. Down into turn one last time. Kyle Busch does have a victory on the season, but as they come out of turn 2, the narrative for the 18 M&M's crew all season long has been they have had trouble closing out races, losing them in the later stages, leading lots of laps and not finishing where they need to. However, this one's going to be an exception. He started second and took the lead almost right away. He has led nearly every lap since, and finally he's going to lead the most important one. Kyle Busch will come across the line and win here in California. See the top 10 flyby, rest of the field should be here any second. There they come. Seemingly so slow, but at roughly 200 miles an hour across the line. And there they go. So Kyle Busch, shut up, Paul Menard. Kyle Busch finally able to close out a race, a victory of his own that he deserves. He's probably led the most laps this season. He's scored 5 pole awards, only tied by Kevin Harvick, and he's able to get the job done here. Win number 2 on the season for the 18 team, and a well-earned victory, well overdue for the amount of races that they've lost on the closing stages. They were finally able to get it done their way. So we close out here and take a look at the finishing results. Kyle Busch, Clint Boyer, Eric Almirola, Kurt Busch, Martin Truex Jr. We see Eric Almirola back to his old ways. And that'll be his 7th top 5 of the season and 11th top 10 of the season. And what I said wrong was earlier, by the way. Kevin Harvick, or now he'll be tied with Kevin Harvick. It'll be Martin Truex Jr. who leads the league in top 5s, more than likely because of his win count. But Martin Truex Jr. coming on very strong later on in the season, following up a victory with a solid 5th place finish. Harvick 6th, Larson 7th, Keselowski 8th, Johnson with another top 10. It's going to help Keselowski and Johnson there with their points because they've been fast. They have not necessarily been in the greatest situations to win, but it looks like I know Almirola's got to win one eventually. But I know if Johnson or Keselowski are in a position where they need to point their way, and I believe they'll have the beneficiary for that. Daniel Suarez, I don't want to say they're out, but they're in a pretty bad spot. They are 25th in points. Or no. Yeah, they're 25th in points right now. Right? Second, right? Yeah. This team is 25th in points, and they need to be 16th in points. So they need to be up here where that 37 is. That's 353. That's 289. So that's like a 60-ish point deficit. That's a lot of points to make up. And while any of these guys like the 18, 14, or 10 could make that up in 2 or 3 races, the 19, they've had a rough season. They just don't have the speed. They don't have the luck. And while a string of good races and top 10s like this one could really help them out, it's going to take a lot to put them inside that points bubble. And even then, who's to say it'll work for them? There's a lot of guys in front of them in points that might win still. So you never know. Going through the rest of the field, Jamie McMurray 11th, Logano 12th, Blaney 13th, Trevor Bayne 14th, Alex Bowman 15th, still no top 10, Eric Jones 16th, Chase Elliott, a disappointing 17th place finish. Was really hoping for more out of them, was really expecting more. They won the pole position, so they'll get their first playoff point of this season for that, but unfortunately they were not able to convert it into a victory. Denny Hamlin was right near the top of the leaderboards just a few races ago. Doesn't look like he'll gain a whole lot of ground, finishing 18th. McDowell finishing 19th. That's good for him. Stenhouse 20th. As we course down the field, another good finish for a front row car. 38, P23. Timmy Hill 25th. Dillon 27th. As we stroll down the field even more, we've got Kane, Menard. Menard was never able to recover the lap, so that's going to have some big implications for them. Paul Menard will drop to the bottom of the playoff grid undeniably with this DNF, or not DNF, with this poor finish. Byron being only 9 points away from Chris Buescher. He's going to lose quite a bit of spots here because Chris Buescher, where did Buescher finish? Where's C Buescher? Okay, Buescher didn't finish that far ahead, but still, here's Byron. 43 finished quite a ways ahead. I see the 88. So yeah, Byron actually might fall down to 20th in points, which is very bad. Still plenty of races to go in this one. Or he's 18th in points right now. He might fall to 20th. Yeah. Still plenty of time for them, but they've got to be better. Anyone around here has got to be better. And you know, even if you make it in the position like Ryan Newman or Chris Buescher, you're not safe. Even if you're Jimmy Johnson or if you're Brad Keselowski or Eric Almirola, and you do have a lot of points and not a victory to go with it, you're still not safe. Because you see Eric Almirola and Jimmy Johnson, 441 and 443, they are currently 5th and 6th in overall points, but all these one-time winners here take over them in our little playoff standings here. So it doesn't really mean a whole lot. You know, you could easily get booted out if we have more one-time winners, which could happen. And it might be Johnson, Almirola, or Keselowski that wins the race eventually. But Jones, Hamlin, capable of winning races. I've seen Elliott with speed. Bowman had great speed last race. I know that the 14 and the 22 can win races. The 19, a lot of these guys can win races. We'll just have to see which one does. For now, it's Kyle Busch taking home the checkered flag and his second victory of the season. Hope you guys enjoyed the race. I'll see you on the next one.